Hello and welcome back. It has been a pretty long time. What's up? It is Kay Lee with Follow Up Media. This is the Follow Up Media podcast. My co host, Riley Zorro Austin,
That's right.
sitting across from me. Why do I call him Zorro? Because he wears Lululemon
No.
clothes. That's his favorite brand. And he's got a really creepy mustache that is just ever evolving.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we've been on a little bit of a hiatus and we're about to kick things back off. So, if you don't know, Follow Up Media is a full service production and marketing powerhouse. That's what I call us now. We're just a powerhouse. We handle clients' content ideation from concept to development, rollout, distribution, the whole nine. We do traditional marketing, but we excel and exceed expectations on the digital side of things. So, this podcast that we created, or I don't know, 6 months ago or whatever, is for our thought leadership. We are the subject matter experts in this area. And so we bring you strategies, recommendations based off of what we're doing for existing clients, what we're going to do for future clients, to where you can not only evaluate who you might have working with you now or for you sometimes, and hopefully the money that you are spending is getting you a return on your investment, whether it's an outsourced company or a company that's in-house or your people that are in-house. And so that's kind of like a lot of how our content is filtered and through what lens and the things that, we're going through as a company that is growing and expanding pretty quick, but we're also in that place of like, how do we scale and still not lose our ethos, our motto, follow up, right?
Yeah.
Our FU brand.
And it's crazy because all this the services we have now, we didn't just start off with that. We've been talking with clients and we execute on maybe, let's just say, two of our products or and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, do you guys do this? You guys do this. And then that's when I feel like the evolution of it has just been
Yeah,
people getting, like you said, maybe not burned, but in a sauce, not doing what they said they were gonna do.
it's a bad experience. Like, and especially when it comes to search engine optimization, because most business owners have no clue as to what their team or outsourced team is actually doing.
Yeah.
So they're just going, here, all right, we're going to pay you $2,000 a month and you guys are going to give us a report. And that report, as I've mentioned in previous episodes, is just hard to decipher. And no business owner, unless you have a background in website analytics, wants to sit there and learn what chart relates to what and where things are coming from. So it really needs to be outlined and explained like a third grader. And that's what our team does. And we do weekly reports. But besides that, it's like we don't just go in and start soliciting more services. It's always more of an uncovering, like an evolution. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, if we're optimizing content on your YouTube channel, well, that has a direct correlation and can boost your search engine optimization efforts. And then, well, what happens is we're like, can we get access to your GA4? If you don't know what that is, that's your Google Analytics, like your reports. And a lot of times the companies that are managing the SEO, they don't want to give it up because they don't want us to have insight as to how little they're doing
Yeah.
or maybe how non-aggressive they're being and how much effort they're actually putting in for their money, because there'll be a history of how many backlinks, how many this, and we're not going to go down this big SEO wormhole. But that's essentially how everything has evolved. Follow Up Media is built on execution, like more than anything. We put the FU in follow up, and we do, because if there's one trait that I don't know, I'm not going to brag because it's not anything worth bragging about, but that's one thing I do. And one thing I've always done is I follow up and I follow through. So when I started building this company, that was always the most important thing, is action, right? You can hire an employee who's a genius, But if he's an overthinker and overanalyzes things to death, you can't really do anything with him because there's no action behind it. It's all a big freaking delay.
Yeah.
So when you have somebody who is all about action, Action Jackson, they might go off in the wrong direction, but if they are a little bit coachable, you can always steer them.
Yeah.
And then the action goes in the right direction and gets the result or the ROI you want. Anyway, today, really, we're going to talk about content. And we've talked about content a million times. And it's one of the most valuable things that every business owner has.
For sure.
Within them is their wisdom and experience based off of the years and years and years of grinding, going through, the pains of growth, the pains of failures, bad partnerships. But it's the wisdom and experience that, from their perspective, they can share that educates an audience. Could be an existing one, could be, and that's where it all starts. Your audience always starts with your book of business. Who are your clients right now? Those are the people you market to.
Yeah.
Those are the people that need to know that you are a thought leader in this space or in that space, and you're an industry expert. And why are you an industry expert? You're going to tell them.
Yeah.
And it's going to be apparent. It's going to be clear. It's going to be authentic. And you're going to get to not only let your clients inside a little bit, maybe give them another layer of you that they don't see, because it's always, when you do meet with them, it's business, business, business. Oh, I got your financial statement. We made you this percentage.
Yeah.
That's about it. But if you're trying to gain new business, and if you're trying to beat out a competitor for a certain chunk of business, what better way to do it than having content that helps them make that decision?
Yeah.
That helps them go, you know what? These both were really good, but I just really like that guy Riley.
Right. Yeah.
And he seems like we come from the same place. We're cut from the same cloth. We both look like Zorro and wear Lululemon.
Yeah. And a lot of the business owners are saying like, oh, I don't think I'd be interesting on camera. I don't think people want to listen to me. Well, whether you think so or not, your expertise is a lot higher in that industry than 99% of other people that are listening. So
Absolutely.
you're already up there.
And 99% of the people in your industry still
Not doing it.
are not creating any authentic content.
No.
So that's the opportunity. And we have a client right now who has become a really good friend. And this guy kind of showed up in my life like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It was a phone call. It was a Google search that led to a website hit that led to a scheduled meeting, which led to a phone call that same day, which led to, after our 45-minute initial conversation, I met his wife and him in our Alpharetta studio, which is where we're recording from right now. And that guy's name, and I'm going to tell you because he's a badass, and he's become not only a friend, an amazing client, and it is a prime example of how your content can literally impact the world. Now, if your content is, and I'm not diminishing it or comparing it because it's apples to oranges, but if your content is financial advice or legal advice or how to fix this toilet, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Right? You're still establishing yourself as a leader, and you are helping people at that moment, potentially, right? You could be. Might be a financial retirement piece of advice. There, a market, interest rate cuts coming that helps you make a decision that maybe changes even your path.
Yeah.
Right? You might hear that. Or maybe they turn over their whole portfolio to you. Nonetheless, Brad Burnham, who's the CEO of a company called Turn Therapeutics. I had no idea who Brad was originally when we first talked, but within about 2 minutes, I told him, I was like, yep, I want in. I want in because his story is so unique, and I'll just give you a little snippet of his story, and then I'm going to drive you to check out his official podcast, which is called Breaking Brad. Now, a product of Follow Up Media. We've handled the whole entire rollout from logo concept ideation, recording, post-production, all the channel setups, website, merch,
YouTube.
marketing. I mean, you name it, everything we have done, everything, social media management, newsletter, you name it. Brad Burnham, who was a medical sales guy selling devices in hospitals and whatever. And if I'm getting that wrong, Brad, I apologize. But he's a very detail-oriented fact guy. So I might, if I butcher a fact, I'm sure he'll tell me.
Yeah.
Love him for it. But he contracted this bacterial infection that started off behind his ear. And after 5 years, if the numbers are right, 30 surgeries, a very doom and gloom life at that point. We didn't have in the United States anything that could fight this bacteria.
Shocker.
But apparently it was a bad one. It was like one of the worst ones you could get.
Yeah.
And who knows how he was exposed to it. He got so fed up with how horrible his life was going and all the surgeries and pills and ointments and cream.
Getting drained every week.
Oh, yeah, just stitches and staple. So he got fed up one day and went on Google and found out that the UK had an ingredient that they used over there for some wound care that he thought seemed somewhat promising, but we didn't have an FDA approval here. So he ordered some of it off of Alibaba and basically, long story short, made a cure in his garage. Believe it or not, he was sent to labs. It did kill the bacteria, the labs said, and he started using it on himself and fixed himself. Now, 15 some odd years later, I don't know how many years later, but a good amount of time later, his company's huge. He's got FDA approvals. He's got patents. He's got a lot of great things going on. So he's the CEO of one company. And he's always wanted to be kind of a teacher, and he kind of is in just his natural state of himself. But now the content and the light he is putting on these what's out there, these cures, stem cells. He's got all the leading scientists in biology, doctors, surgeons, you name it, in his phone. And he is bringing content not to promote his pharma company turned therapeutics. He doesn't really care about that.
Yeah.
It's to educate the world as to what's out there. Why don't we have that here? Not bashing certain people that maybe keep some good things out of our hands, but leave a lot of bad things in our hands, like ingredients and food, and we're not going to go down that. But the whole point of what I'm saying is his content is so valuable. Now, his content does appeal to a much broader area.
Yeah.
Because, everyone's interested in health.
Yeah.
Everyone's interested
for everyone.
Yeah. I mean, at some level, it'll hit home for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody knows somebody that has died from cancer or is dying from cancer or that is battling cancer at a like the biggest fight in their life. And so, but when I really started thinking about what we were going to talk about in today's episode, I was like, his content, and you might be thinking, oh, I didn't create a cure in my basement or my garage. You don't have to. You do not have to. We're not telling you have to be someone like Brad. What we're telling you is that your message and your experience and your wisdom in the particular industry that you're in, or if it's just something that if you want to spread the gospel, whatever, and you have your own take on that, feel free. But that content will appeal to somebody.
Yeah. You have an audience.
Yeah. This is your soapbox. whether you want to have a soapbox or not, and some people aren't into it, then find somebody in your company that will be the spokesperson, that will be the face, that can educate on why me.
Yeah.
Why would you use me over the other 10,000 competition people that are clamoring for my business?
Yeah.
You go to Google a company, go to their website. And then if they have a video of any kind and it's not some animated stick figure going, hey, help me, look at my financial thing. Oh, I just get my car. There's very little dynamic content. It's all static.
Yeah.
It's all static. And that's what their social media profiles look like too. But still, you don't have to compete, but you need to have some dynamic content that gives another perspective and another. Are you just a 2D image or are you a human being, right?
Yeah.
With your own way of guiding people to whatever service you're selling,
Right.
whether it's plumbing, electrician, financial advice, medical care, cures, whatever it is. Is it marketing services like us right here, right now? And but content is, it is the future without a damn doubt. It's funny, the people that are resistant to it, like, yeah, it's not something we want to do. What they don't know is, and we're not saying you have to be ready right when Riley calls or you get a messed up email from our automated system, or no, I'm just playing. But the amount of time you're losing.
Yeah.
And we never know, whether it be tariffs, interest rates, the ebb and flow of the industry you're in as far as time of year, business goes down. Is it a complete lead gen deal, like a real estate agent where you just got to grind all the time? Otherwise, you take your foot off the gas, the leads stop coming in, and it's going to take you 90 days to ramp up some new revenue that's going to close. So you've got to consistently be getting out there. And by creating authentic content, you still got to get out there. You still got to do the normal hustle and shake hands, kiss babies, introduce yourself. But it gives you a portfolio of searchable work that people are going to scroll and be like, oh, and you're going to hit them at the right time.
Yeah.
They're going to need to hear your message. But if you're not creating content, they're not hearing your company. They're hearing another company's.
Yeah.
And
why would you want to get ahead of your competitors? You look at, I see websites all the time, so I know I can almost guarantee you that your competitor is not doing it. So why not get ahead? Unless you want to stay where
you're perfectly happy where you are.
Yeah. But if you have any desire to grow, then I would definitely.
Yeah, and and it's not from a point of cockiness, because we look at a company and we identify somebody or a business and we go, this is what they're missing. And we approach and we establish contact and we try to have that conversation. And it's like, okay, not now, maybe later, to hit me up in a couple months, and a couple months turns into, because we follow up.
Yeah.
So we don't give up. But then Riley's going to follow up 20 times if need be to get another answer, to see if you're ready. And it's like, some people are just too busy doing busy work when they're not focused in on the decisions and tasks that are going to change the trajectory of their business. And it's like, if you're happy where you are, then fantastic.
Yep.
But that can also change, because time goes real quick, and 6 months turns into a year, and then all of a sudden you're like, where's all the business? The phone isn't ringing now. Here's the deal. Create content or your company is going to fall behind. You're either going to one day wake up and be like, how did we miss the signs? Well, you didn't. We called and you brushed us off and you said, no, not right now. And we respect that, because there's a bit of time, there's a money commitment, but it is a marketing necessity that you authentically establish your brand as the brand to handle that service or product.
Yeah.
Done. That's it. There's no other way around it. You do it, or you have a ton of money to throw at just ad campaign and billboards and super amounts of digital. Otherwise, you're going to get left behind, and your future revenue, your future growth, is at stake. Content is what changes the trajectory of your business. And I'm getting to a point more and more where I'm just have more attitude about it. And I'm less like, oh, best practices, rule of thumb, you should be doing this. No, you should fucking be doing this.
Yeah. Look at ads, look at radio time. That kind of disappears. Content stays forever.
Right. Absolutely. Like you run an ad on radio, even TV. I mean, you could repurpose your commercials potentially,
Yeah.
but I mean, you're paying for that time. It's going to run and then it's gone. It's like a hotel who's got rooms.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not booked on Thursday night, 9/11, well, whatever is not booked is lost revenue.
Yeah.
Right? You can't go back and fill those rooms. You lost the time.
Exactly.
Same thing. And you've got to spend a lot, but content repurposed like 20 different ways. Reuse. It's not even reused. It's more repurposed. Actually, Follow Up Media has a post on our socials this week. Plug to Zane Durham, our social media manager for Follow Up Media, but he definitely gets the content and what we do as far as, do we have 1 million followers? No, we don't. We're still growing, but nonetheless, so we're not talking about pop culture, Sydney Sweeney, some entertainment, while we're hopefully somewhat entertaining, we're more using this space, this soapbox, our socials to educate, inform, and guide business owners and small, medium, and enterprise-sized businesses to ramp up their digital efforts and expansion. Riley, you want to add anything onto that?
No, I really think that you hit the nail on the head on that one for sure. We've talked about it on other episodes about exactly what you just said. But yeah, no, they know they need it, whether they thought about it a couple months ago or someone in their family was another business owner, they're doing a podcast, or whether they listen to a podcast out of just pure entertainment. It really does impact a business in many different ways, and whether you want to get on it now or jump on the late train, that's on you. But I think it'll always be here, and it's just coming up.
Yeah, I just had something as you were laying down the law there, Riley. I just had an idea. So we got new merch, and I thought about this as, in 60 days, we are going to give a shirt and a hat away. We're going to pick a follower, subscriber out of all of our socials. And so if you're new from today, 9/11, till whatever exactly 60 days out is, I'll put it up on the episode description.
Yeah.
If you follow, subscribe to one of our channels, love us, hate us, we're going to choose a name and we're going to send you some FU brand
That's sweet.
gear. So hat, shirt, baby, some booty shorts for the wife. I don't know.
Yeah, some Lululemon.
Or for the husband, who knows?
We'll throw in some Lululemon.
No, we don't give Lululemon.
Oh.
No, but thank you so much for listening. This will be the first of many new episodes to come. And we were re-optimizing our YouTube channel, which is one of the services that we handle for a lot of other people. And so we needed to repurpose and re-optimize our content correctly to kind of form the base needed to dial in content to YouTube's algorithm, which is one of the services that we offer. So reach out to us, followupmedia.com. You can hit us up on all socials. I'm Christian Lee, Kaylee, AKA, and this is Riley Austin. Peace.
Bye.